today on Divorce Court.
When I first met Misty, she weighed over 400 pounds, and I believe that has a lot to do with her insecurities.
Lewis has cheated on me several times throughout our relationship.
If Misty don't change, I'm gonna have to leave this relationship because I can't deal with the anger and all the anxiety and everything. I just can't do it no more, you know.
I'm honestly confused. My mom taught me to be a very forgiving person, and I don't know if I'm forgiving Lewis too much.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Misty Johnstone and Lewis Stevenson. The two of you have been together for 3 years, but you do not want to be together anymore. You do not have any children together, although you have 2 children and you have 4 from previous relationships. Ms. Johnstone, why don't you tell me how you got into this situation and why you want to end it here today?
Yes, ma'am. When me and Lewis first got back in contact, we got back in contact on social media, and I was contacting him in order to reconnect him with an old friend of his, and when I did that, he, instead of looking for the old friend, pursued me. And when he did,
No, were you trying to hook him up with another lady?
No, ma'am. It's actually an ex of mine that I was with for 8 years, who I met him through, and me and him had been separated for 2 years. We had been broke up, and he had moved away from the place that we lived out here to California as well, and we had been in contact, and he didn't have any friends out here. And so,
Gotcha. I gotcha. So you met up with him online. How did it proceed from there?
And I don't even think he ever even tried to find the other person. He just kind of was like, well, hey, you know, what's up with you? And, you know, I wasn't really looking for anybody at the time, but he kind of said all the right things.
Don't they all?
Yes, they do.
I don't know why people can't figure that part out. If they're saying all the right things, it isn't magic, it's practice.
Right, yeah. But, you know, I guess he kind of went about things differently than most men had. I've been a single mother for 20 years, so most men don't really approach me anyways, and I was also very overweight at the time. So, you know, so it was different, and I thought that because, you know, he was going about it, he asked questions, you know, what are you looking for, you know, and, that's Mackin 101. Yeah.
It's
I figured it out.
So how long did you guys talk on the internet before you started seeing each other in person?
Well, it went from, he lived in South Carolina and I lived here in California, so we talked for about a month on social media before I moved him out here.
If you had a daughter.
I have a daughter.
And she met a guy on the internet.
I would have told him.
Would you tell him to move it? When you say move him out of here, did you pay for it?
I did pay for it. I thought we were...
If I was your mother, they'd still be extracting my foot from your behind.
I understand.
And you have children in the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how wrong that is?
I did discuss it with my kids first. I, you know, sat them down and talked to them about it. When me and Lewis first, you know, had interaction, he also represented himself as a perfect gentleman to me. And
so who wouldn't?
Right.
I mean, a serial killer is not going to call you, say, yeah, I like to beat women, tie them up, and then I might slit their throat. And yeah, I like 15-year-olds. Well, I know you have a 15-year-old daughter. When you're asleep, I'm gonna go do her.
I understand
they don't say that.
We met in person at first, though. We did meet in person at first, and
Ted
when we
Bundy
met that
was
time,
charming when you met him in person.
Yeah.
Right before he killed you.
That. I do understand that.
Holy moly! And what were you doing, Mr. Stevenson?
I was at a bad stage in my life at the time. I didn't really know what I wanted.
I know what you wanted. You wanted a place to stay.
No,
you wanted somebody to pay your bills. 30 days, a dude don't move across country in 30 days for a chick that he don't really know unless he's looking to be kept.
Well, I've always had a dream of coming to California. I went by it the wrong way.
And she financed it for you?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
Are you still supporting him?
No, ma'am. He moved out here and he worked for 3 months. He looked for a job. He was actively seeking employment. He was doing that. I had to, you know, he's not very tech savvy, so I had to get on the computer and log him in and, you know, help him with, you know, figuring out how to search for jobs and stuff like that online. And I would take him, I was the only one with the vehicle at a time, so I would take him job searches. So I know that he was looking for a job. It was about 3 months, and my family did kind of start getting, you know, frustrated, kind of asking questions like, is he really, you know, looking for a job? But
and in return, you got companionship. What price?
Well, I didn't even get that, to be honest with you. I haven't even got companionship.
Well, Mr. Stevenson, let me talk to you for a second. What was your game plan? What were you looking to get done?
Well, basically, I was catfishing her to get to California. That's how it started off.
Okay.
I'm not proud of it, but I'm admitting it. I was wrong.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
I appreciate that. Once you got out there, then how did the relationship progress, if indeed it progressed at all?
Well, at the time when I met her, she was overweight. That probably ties into her insecurities and all. But, I mean, I basically just... I made it happen, Judge. I mean, I realized, after a couple of months, I realized that she was a good woman. And now I pay all the bills, I take care of everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything.
Does he take care of everything?
He takes care of everything, but he doesn't cease to let me know it. He doesn't allow me to feel comfortable with it, and he makes me feel guilty about it every single day of my life. And I've been sick for the last 2.5 years. And he holds it over my head that I can't work because I'm sick.
What does he say to you, or what does he do that makes you feel guilty?
Like when we're discussing, you know, bills or finances, he'll say, or like if we're discussing something that maybe we need or maybe I want or anything like that, it's, well, we got these bills to pay. And then he'll say something like, but you wouldn't know that, would you? Even though I've been a single mother for 20 years, paying bills for 20 years.
Instead of divert back into my old ways and smoking crack and doing all this stuff, I got busy. Because back in the days when I was smoking crack, I'm used to smoking crack and women. Smoking crack and women. So that's what I was used to.
You skipped the crack part and went straight to the women.
Sometimes I'll be doing them both at the same time.
I'm gonna let you respond to her allegations that you make her feel guilty for the fact that you're paying all the bills. Is that true?
Sometimes, yes.
And why is that?
Because I feel like, to me, she be getting on my nerves, so I be
How does she get on your nerves?
It could be a number of things, Judge. I mean...
Give me a list. Tell me one or two, anything.
I mean, we could be having an all right day and my phone ring and then all break loose, you know? I mean, just because of my phone
Is she worried about you running around with other women? Is that what, is she jealous?
She's insecure, Judge. Very insecure. I mean, I know I'm wrong.
Well, you took her for a ride. She got a reason to be insecure.
Yes, ma'am, I did. And I've been faithful for this past year.
You've been faithful for a year
and I go
that
to
I know of. I don't think he's been faithful for a year.
Okay.
I have, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Johnstone, let me ask you this. You say he spends all of his money on himself, all his spare money on himself, and not on you. Why don't you explain to him? I mean, I see where some of it goes.
Yes, ma'am. Obviously, he loves his gold, and he's going to make sure everybody knows it. He also has a truck that he has rims on and a system in that's way too loud for me and my stomach problems. He'll go and buy himself food, and he won't even worry about me at all. And I cook for him. Every night that I don't cook for him, if I don't cook for him, I am probably going to cook for myself anyways.
Mr. Stevenson, are you coming up that light?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. You say he's cheated on you 13 times. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am. 13 times and in four separate occasions.
Like one woman a couple times?
No, one woman. There was 3 separate women, and then there was 10 women within a matter of 3 days.
How did you manage that?
Well, for one, Your Honor, it was a lie. I lied to her. Once again,
I don't care what.
Hang on.
Just to get up on her skin at the time, and I finally came clear to her that it was only 5. I just told her 10. I exaggerate. I have a tendency to exaggerate.
He let me think for
But wait a minute. Wait, 5 minutes, 5 women in 3 days. That's still interesting. Well, how'd you manage that?
Back page.
Oh, you call him up.
Call them up, give them that money, it's on.
It's an internet site.
Gotcha.
But what led to that, she's not telling you.
Why don't you tell me what led to that?
What led to that, okay, I was up to no good, kind of anyway. I was browsing the website.
Start from the beginning, what really did it lead to? Because where was I at?
Well, she was out of town.
Okay.
So, I
was out of town
wrong.
doing what?
She was
Now, Miss
at her mother.
Johnstone, hang on now.
It's
She was
really
visiting her
important.
mother.
I'm going to ask you about it, but let him finish his story.
She was visiting her
Tell
mother.
me what you did.
Okay, so at the time, by me being a recovering addict and all that, and had a lot of stuff going on, instead of divert back into my old ways and smoking crack and doing all this stuff, I got busy. Because back in the days when I was smoking crack, I was used to smoking crack and women. So that's what I was used to.
You skipped the crack part and went straight to the women.
Sometimes I'll be doing them both at the same time.
Okay.
Hey, I was just like that, you know?
But he's not telling you I wasn't visiting my mom. My mom passed and I was out there mourning her.
Yeah.
I wasn't visiting my mom.
Have you no moral compass? Is there no floor below which you won't go? Is there nothing that just makes your soul shrivel up a little bit, if not other parts?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, yes. At the time, I just got out here. I had just started working. I had just started making a little bit of money. I was trying to help her get the regular van fixed better. Given
your background, you should know better than to hand a drug addict any property of any value. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Ms. Johnstone, understandably, you would be distraught by Mr. Stevenson's behavior, but I understand your response is less than rational. Can you tell me? Well, no. Let me ask Mr. Stevenson. How does she respond to your antics?
So, Judge, when she get angry at me, she just blurt out the N-word. And, where I'm from, you just don't.
You just don't do that?
You don't do that, You just don't do it,
And how did you respond to that?
I mean, I wanted to choke her out and slap her. But, since I've been going to my therapist, he encouraged me to go by different ways.
Did you go by a different way?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
Were you reasonable?
Oh, very reasonable. I ain't in jail.
Ms. Johnstone, your standards are so low. Your standards are so low, Ms. Johnstone. Is that how you went about it?
I got to a point where I feel like I'm grasping straws with him. I don't know, nothing I do gets a reaction out of him. As you can see, he's not shocked with anything. He does outrageous things. So it's like, when you're going through this process of, trying to make this relationship work, and you're, constantly fighting, constantly trying to make yourself known, constantly trying to make yourself be noticed, and constantly trying to get your feelings out there and for them to always only be ignored. It's like, what else do you do besides and to be honest with you, my mom would roll over in her grave.
Yeah.
She,
I don't get wired by that word because I don't allow anybody to say anything to me that will redirect my day. If I'm successful if I own all the feelings during my day. So I'm not gonna lean on you about that. How deep it was and how wrong it is, and I'm not gonna go there.
Absolutely.
My question to you is, are you stuck with him?
I do feel like I'm trapped. I had a vehicle when he came here, and he took that vehicle from me.
I'll let you answer.
I was sick. Most of the time I was in bed sleeping. I couldn't get out of bed. He would drive my vehicle wherever he wanted to go. He used it for whatever he wanted to do. And after things came out, now I have to wonder what he was doing while he was driving my van.
Does he still have it?
No, the van started tearing up, it started messing up, and when it did, he asked a tweaker to take it off somewhere and go fix it, and I never saw it again after that.
Is that off a car repairman? Oh,
tweaking, yeah.
A shade tree mechanic that's on meth.
Why would you take your car to a person who does substances? That doesn't make sense.
As I explained, at the time, I just got out here. I had just started working. I had just started making a little bit of money. I was trying to help her get the regular van fixed better.
Given your background, you should know better than to hand a drug addict any property of any value. I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
Yes, ma'am, that was fully my fault. That's why I take full responsibility. And it's like I told her, she's gonna have a truck. She can have 2 trucks.
He's bought 3 vehicles since he lost my van, and none of them are for me. And he tells me I can't drive his truck.
Do you do that?
I used to do that, yes.
You did it 2 days ago.
No.
I accidentally left the car unlocked at Walmart.
I know exactly what's happening here. You're seeking $3,600, correct?
I'm seeking a new vehicle that he has said he owes me, and I'm seeking $600 a month in transitional support for 6 months.
And we will talk about that. So you're looking to have your truck replaced, and for $3,600, 6 months transitional support. You're trying to get out of the house?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get out of this bad situation I feel like I'm in.
How much do you think that truck was worth?
I put about maybe $1,000 on it. I traded another vehicle for it and put cash down on it, and I mean...
Mr. Stevenson, do you feel any obligation to assist this individual in getting up and getting out and getting a life of her own?
Yes, ma'am. I told her that either whether we together or we not, I told her if she do leave this relationship, I'm not gonna let her leave the relationship with less than she came with. You know, if it take every penny I got, I'm gonna give it to her.
But I asked him in June to have me a truck by July so I could leave, and he didn't do that. That's why we're here, because, because I've been asking
we got this
him.
thing called bills, you know, and they don't stop coming, you know. But I want to touch bases on something real quick. I got some evidence to show you how her anger is, how she get. And this was over really a phone call that wasn't even nothing. And I love my toilet seat. She know I like my bathroom time, and she did that just to spite me.
A woman called...
Hey. You got a lot of nerve wondering why somebody gets upset with you. You came out here and admitted to catfishing this woman, using her for her money, using her to get out here. Then you went into her home. She had a kid she was raising. You used her for her money. And then not only that, you cheated on her. And you make her feel bad about wanting, needing anything at all. You show no soul. You show clear through. You're right above pimp bottom feeder. You know what I mean? Right there.
Yes, ma'am.
How you can stand there, dripped in probably false gold, or if it's real gold.
No, I don't falsify.
You don't falsify?
I don't falsify nothing.
Yeah, no. You don't falsify?
I'm the real deal.
You the real deal?
Yes, ma'am.
As far
as when it comes to that goes.
Concerned,
yeah.
Let me tell you what, real deal. Real deal, you're gonna pay her $5,000.
Hey.
That's the real deal.
Yeah.
Miss Johnstone, get a backbone, get a spine, get up, get out, get on with it, and don't believe it anymore. Don't, what price companionship, really? You know what I'm saying?
It's been a long time since I believed
$5,000 in
it.
favor of Mrs. Johnstone. It is so ordered.
I don't believe Lewis ever loved me. I thought at one time that he did love me, but with everything that's went on, I don't think that he ever has really loved me. I don't think he's capable of love. And I think I'm just gonna, make sure that I focus on me now and take care of myself.
I don't really think she's gonna leave me. I could pretty much guarantee you we'll be back recapping this show and we're gonna get married. Because that's what I'm going for. No matter how she feel or how whoever else feel, I don't care. It's all about me and her.